here's another tip. If you have high-low hubs on a specialized bike, this is the front tire off of a Stumpjumper. What I'm talking about is you'll notice there'll be conversation, at least online, of people with these hubs having a squeaky sound coming from them after some time. The best way I can describe it is it sounds like a cartoon mouse or like a rollerblade wheel that is wet. And how it will happen is it'll be intermittent, so you'll be riding and you'll get this squeak. When you turn the tire, and then it will go away. Sometimes it stays. It only happens when you're spinning the tire really slowly. I'm going to show you how to remove these caps here and what I think is the source of the squeak. Upon first looking at these hubs, you got these little caps on the end here, which behind this is your cartridge for the wheel axle. And as you can see, it has this little ridge on the side, and most people say you can just pull this off, and I found that that doesn't happen. You just can't pull this straight off, and you can't use pliers either. That will mar up the finish, and it doesn't work with pliers. The trick though is you don't need any special tools. You already have your through axle, which you're going to use to pop in there just a little bit and pry it off. You can see in there you have the cap, and then you see the line there for that's where the bearing sits behind. And what we're going to do is insert this axle not all the way through to the bearing, but just enough to where we can get a good grip, about 3/4 of the way in on this. And you're just going to push down. Parts will go everywhere, but you'll have basically two parts here. The outside cap that is press fit in there. Then you'll have the cap itself, which has popped out. Now, we have that off. You can see the wheel bearing there. And then we have this cap that was sitting there, and there's an O-ring on the outside. And from what I can tell is that sometimes when your axle is in there and you get a little bit of pressure, that will cause this cap to spin, and that O-ring will over time lose its lubrication properties and squeak on there. So it's really not doing any damage, it's just annoying. And so what I've done to fix that is just add a little bit of polylube, which is some type of grease, on the outside there and push it back in. Here's an example of what I've done. Not a lot of grease, but not a little bit either. I kind of just put in just amount to fill up the gaps, and then I will tap this back into place. The order of this is, if you look at this outer snap, not really a snap ring, but press fit ring, there's a little bit of a taper. What you're going to do is have that tapered side go towards the bearing. How this fits together is you will take your greased top cap, it fits underneath like so, like that. Still got that taper facing. And I doubt you'll be able to push it back in because it did take a little force to take out, but you'll get it lined up kind of like that. Place your wheel on the ground, put something soft on the ground to do this so you don't jack up the other side of the cap. This is a handle for a file, but what I will do here, and I have a rubber mallet, you're just going to put this on the edge here and then just tap all the way around to get that seated, because you're not going to hit on the top here because that's not what's holding the top cap in. It's this outside press fit ring. So if I can do this, I'm just going to go over here, a little bit of a tap, a little bit, just get it seated at first. We're not going for evenness or flushness yet. That's why I recommend using something that's plastic like this, so this gets marred up and not the cap. What you're going for is for it to be flush on the sides here, which is the top cap that kind of floats in there in the middle, and that's it.